Hello Internet, welcome to another Gundam Mobile Suit in Action toy review. Today's review is Theo-O. The Theo-O is another requested review and the first Japanese exclusive toy review that I've done so far. The Theo-O comes from the anime Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, which originally aired in 1987 and was piloted by one of the series' main antagonists, Optimus Shirako. Let's get to the review itself. First, let's look at the main thing about this. It is huge. Let's get another figure and compare its size. Another standard size figure. Yeah. It's at least twice as tall as Nero's. It's almost as tall as Nero's Gundam here. That's a pretty tall fella. This review is not about Nero's Gundam though, it's about Theo. First I'll talk about the sculpt itself. The sculpt is a very accurate representation of the mobile suit in question. Here's the side, and here's the back. Looks very good, and has a number of points of articulation. Its head is on a ball joint, so it can look all around. The binder on the back here can move up and down. He also has shoulder articulation at 2 points here. He has 1, 2, 3 individual joints just in his elbows, and of course articulated wrists, which are also on a ball joint. I should note that the ball joint wrists are something they introduced later on in the line, and this is what is known as a version 2 mold, which is much more advanced. Anywho, back to the review. The front skirt armor flips up to reveal, let's see if I can prime out, here we go, to reveal 2 small posable manipulators. These are mainly used for some of its accessories, which we'll get to later. Let me just fold these guys back in for now. You see, and they easily fold right in and out. Let's see. He also has articulated at on the legs. He has limited waist articulation, but due to its mass, that's fine with me. What's not fine is how limited the knee articulation is. Sure, it can move back a bit, but some of it is hindered by the cables here, and constantly bending it may cause it to tear. That's not a good idea. What is really astounding is the number of movable joints in the leg, and also the detail underneath the armor on the leg itself. Can we get a closer look at that? That's quite a bit of detail there. Let's see, and as you can see here, as you pull the heel down, and this part here moves. That's very nice. The figure, as you can see, has at least 20 points of articulation. I didn't take the time to count it, or at least I tried to count it, but there's just a little too much there, and it was hard to keep track of. I know, I'm sorry, laziness. Oh, I should also note, the cables here can be removed from the forearms, but they easily slide back in. And so no, they're not attached. The paint job on the mobile suit is very detailed, very clean. And many silver parts here are painted on. The thrusters on the back are painted a nice green color. And yes, this actually has the panel lines filled in. So it does help give an extra added touch. Very good on the articulation and paint. Now we move on to accessories. The accessories are another major thing about the figure, one that I personally like. The accessories for the mobile suit include 3 hand sets, which includes 2 closed fists, 2 open hands for holding firearms, and also 2 hands for gripping beam sabers or other melee weapons. In addition, he also sports a very large beam rifle and four individual beam sabers. Blades are currently not attached. Has nice curve to it, a little bit of width. Overall, it's very nice. The detail on the gun is much more than what you see on most American toys, or even some Japanese toys. Much of the silver is painted in. The cable here is the same color as the mobile suit itself. Most of it is a light gray black color. The hands themselves all have the same paint job. The knuckles here are painted a dark brown color, same as the fingers. And of course, the outer parts of the hands are the same color as the mobile suit, which makes absolute sense. As I mentioned before, this is a version 2 type figure, which means the figure has different ways to attach the hands. Originally, when you remove the hands, the peg would be on the hands and there would be a socket inside the forearm. This could cause some breakage and led to a few broken toys. However, the Japanese figures and some of the later American ones decided that it would be better if the plug was in the forearm, as seen here on a ball joint commonly, whereas the socket would be inside the hand. Slides on just as easily, if easier, stays on tight, and comes off easy enough. Also, has a bit more range of articulation. I know it's hard to tell because this is a video. Anyway, we have it with the trigger finger. Let's see just how big the gun is compared to the... That wasn't supposed to happen. As I was saying, as you can see, the gun itself is quite hefty, but appropriate for the mobile suit in question. Also, the figure includes 4 beam sabers. Now you're probably wondering, Grimmy, for those of you that don't know anyway, you're wondering, Grimmy, why would a mobile suit need 4 beam sabers? I understand too, but 4 is a little excessive, don't you think? Normally, yes. However, Theo-O can do something quite special. First of all, the beam sabers store on little sockets on both sides of the waist, which is very convenient. As with most later Gundam toys, the beam saber blade slides into the hilt. So I'm going to line it up. It slides into the hilt like so. So now he's got 2 beam sabers out. What will we do with the other 2? Remember the manipulators from earlier? Yeah, these things are able to grasp onto the beam sabers. And if you've seen the respective animation or played any games that feature the Theo, you know how awesome this can be. And voila! 4 beam sabers, 4 times the carnage. The Theo is a great toy. My only complaint is the useless knee joint and the cables popping out of the forearms. Other than that, it is a highly recommended toy and loads of fun, and just looks great sitting on your shelf. I'd give this a 9 out of 10. Well, I hope you enjoyed my review, and continue to look forward to future videos. Have a nice day, and good night.